I'm Brenda Boschella.
And I'm Jane Sherlow.
And we hate word problems.
Do you hate word problems too? We can make it easier for you. What kind of word problems are we going to do today, Brenda?
We're going to be looking at the type of word problems you might see in an introductory algebra course. And these word problems are going to compare three things.
And we are going to use equations to solve them. But if you haven't done equations recently, or maybe have never done equations, we'll walk you through.
Now we have to tell you that we are not math instructors. We are both reading specialists. And we have found that word problems, made up of words, we find that those words hold the key to solving the problems. And we're going to look at some key words and some patterns that are going to help you as you find X and solve these problems. All right. A carpenter cut a 74-inch board into 3 pieces. The longest piece was 2 times as long as the middle-sized piece. The shortest piece was 6 inches shorter than the middle-sized piece. How long was each piece?
Well, at first glance, that looks pretty confusing, but not if you use the key words. We are comparing 3 things. Let's look at the first one. The longest piece was 2 times as long as the middle-sized piece. The key word that's going to help you is the comparison word as, which will point to X. Can't do an equation without an X. So the middle-sized piece is X. Now the longest piece was 2 times as long as the middle-sized piece. So the longest piece will be 2x. In other words, 2 times x. The shortest piece was 6 inches shorter than the middle-sized piece. The word than, like the word as, is a comparison word, and it points to X. Well, once again, the middle-sized piece is X. What will we call the shortest piece? It's 6 inches shorter than the middle-sized piece, so it'll be the middle-sized piece minus the 6 inches. Now we have a total up here, the 74-inch board. So we can set up an equation. We can add the middle-sized piece plus the longest piece plus the shortest piece equals 74 inches. Now we combine the x's. There's an imaginary 1 in front of the x's that don't have a number in front. So we are adding 1x plus 2x is 3x plus 1 is 4x minus 6 equals 74. Now we're going to get x by itself on the left side of the equal sign, which means we have to get rid of the 4 and we have to get rid of the 6. And it makes a difference which we do first. You always get rid of something being subtracted from x or something being added. So to get rid of it, we're going to do its opposite, which is to add 6, and that would make it 0 and would 0 it out. And whatever we do to the left side of the equal sign, we must also do to the right to keep the equation balanced. So now we have 4x equals 80. Next step, to get rid of the 4, we do the opposite. 4x means 4 times x. It's multiplication. And we do the opposite of multiplying by 4. We divide by 4. and on both sides to keep the equation balanced. 4 divided by 4 is 1x equals 20. And algebra doesn't write the 1, so we just write x equals 20. Now, we're not finished. You kind of feel like you're finished when you get a number for x, but you go back up to the problem and see what the question was. How long was each piece? So we have 3 answers, and we want them to be in words. When you start with words in a word problem, you end with words in your answer. So the middle-sized piece, which is x, which is 20. And 20 what? We have to say what the units are. Well, we're dealing with inches, aren't we? So we have to say that. It's not just 20. It's 20 inches. And the longest piece is 2 times that, or 40 inches. And the shortest piece, which is x minus 6, or 20 minus 6, which will be 14 inches. Let's summarize this for our viewers, Brenda.
All right. So when you see a beginning algebra word problem that compares 3 things and provides a total, so that's sort of the pattern we're looking at, you'll find that there are keywords in that problem, the words than and as, that are going to point you to x, and that will put you on your way to solving the equation.